Hey y'all, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed your day. Had a great start to your week. Y'all not gonna believe what I have tonight. I promise you. The first time since we did a show, and I got it. I'm trying to tell you. Get ready for our show tonight. Come in, speak, and I'll have our co-hosts introduce themselves, and then we're going to jump right into the topic because it's a lot. And we got 10 minutes per clip. Y'all pray for me. I got JoJo and Ro with no back. Here we go.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I'm gonna be fine. I'll mute the shit out of y'all, and you know it. Well, not wrong because it's her night.
It's not that serious. It is not
No,
that serious.
no. Go ahead,
Hi
JoJo.
everybody,
Bro.
Rose. Happy Taco Tuesday. Everybody eat their tacos. I actually ate tacos today. I only ate a half of one, but I ate it.
We're twins. Go ahead, JoJo.
All right. I just had a taco. I actually had two. Nice. I do the bigger shell, not the small one. I'm the
Uh-huh.
big guy, so they're a little small shell kind of thing.
Right.
All right, everybody. This is Jojo Habanero, your project manager, IT project manager by day, cigar enthusiast by night. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please keep your comments informative, instructive. Please, 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 please. We want to move the conversation forward in a positive light, so be mindful. Let's go.
Let's go. So, two things. Trigger warning at the beginning. If you are not mature enough to have a conversation about what trauma looks like when it happens on a show you decided to air, then don't listen to this show because again, don't be disrespectful. However, let me tell you, this is why we twins because we ain't never had tacos on Taco Tuesday. Let me show
Yeah,
y'all what
we
I
do.
got.
Oh, that's right.
Too much.
But Trip, look, this is the funny part. Let me make it come up this way. This was the taco that I ate. These are tacos, but the girl at the place, because they love me. This is why it's good to go to mom and pop places because once you show up so much, they love you and they treat you right. So they know I eat more protein than the other stuff. So what she do? Y'all, this taco fits in my hand. So I was only able to eat half of one. So I'm gonna eat another one right now during the show. It's gonna be a lot of smacking. California has the best Mexican food,
Yes,
specifically
we
pomona.
do. Look, I'm
The
like, yes,
pig,
we do.
I
the
think
pig
I
has the
think
best.
Texas got something to say about that.
Who?
I
Who?
think Texas got something to say about
No, they don't.
No, they
No, they
don't. They
don't.
go there and complain.
That's
Yes.
for a fact. I know they don't because even my sister, she live in Houston now, and she
Mm.
be like, they still ain't found no authentic Mexican restaurant like
Really?
California is
It's interesting,
California.
right?
California is the closest that you gonna get. That's it.
Hmm.
Nowhere else. It's
It's
California.
crazy. Even in
Oh wow.
Arizona, in the areas that were more, I stayed in Tempe. Right by Tempe was a Hispanic area, very Hispanic. I tried the food and not once did I finish a plate. I just didn't like it. It didn't taste
Yeah.
like a grandma made it. It was,
It's only
mm-mm.
out here. I don't know what it is about California. Like we got it. We got the Mexican food on lock out here.
Right.
Like,
And I've been to Mexico and I still vote for our
yeah,
Mexican food.
me too. Ours is
Hmm.
the most. Ours is the closest.
Hmm.
It's damn near the same.
Hmm. Which is interesting because they come from they come from there. They come over here. Maybe we got the best grandmas. That's it. We got the best grandmas cooking. So I told y'all it's gonna be trigger warning. We jumping right into the topic. For me, it's not a trigger warning, even though it's men being talked about. Anyway, it ain't a trigger warning. So we're gonna start at the top. For this, I'm gonna play the clip, then we'll comment our opinion, then we'll move to the next clip. I won't even talk before. Here we go.
That allows you to
I'm
stay
comfortable with my abandonment.
because you are in your dysfunctional norm that you've become comfortable
But
with.
it's worked. It's become a superpower.
But you've learned to survive in it. You're not
Yeah.
thriving in that. There's not a thrive. That's not thriving. You're surviving in that.
Okay.
And so anytime you are surviving and not thriving, there is no cape. There is no superpower. There's no superpower in a lack of
received
mental
that.
health. And there's no superpower.
But it's worked for me. Like you said, I mean,
You know why it
you
worked
read
for you?
me well.
You
It's
know why
like,
it worked for you?
Why?
You know why it worked for you? I'm gonna go there, and it's probably gonna be okay.
Go ahead. This
You know,
what
and
we-
this is with
the,
all.
we wanted
let
to
me
set
say
the
this.
first. We got 2 minutes left in our
Listen,
first session.
with all due respect, seriously, to all the women that you've encountered, ladies, I'm saying this. The reason why it's worked for you is because you have chosen and to prey on low functioning women who don't have the emotional intelligence. No, I'm going there. Who will allow you to do that, Nick? And when I say allow, it's not a control thing. When I say allow, I'm not saying that she sits across you and says, this is what you won't do, you're crossing a boundary. Nick.
I disagree.
Yes.
This is why I disagree. I mean, one, because
why you gonna make sure, but you gotta go in protection mode too.
But I'm saying because you could say from the high, all the high value women that I've
but I didn't
ever
say high value.
But okay, I'm giving compliments. But I'm just saying
I'm like, wait a minute.
for the people who are even of them being, because first of all,
low functioning women will allow you to function low with them. Nick, you could not function that low.
So this is
Nick,
everyone's low functioning at some point in their life.
You could not function low with a woman of my functioning, not because I'm superior. Not because I'm superior. Listen to me say this really quick. Not because I'm superior to any other woman, but because I do have leverage. I've been in my field for 17 years, so we get that. But I've done the work, meaning you won't have an opportunity to get hostile with me, and you may want to flee, but fleeing would not get you a payoff with me. Wait a minute.
I'm not the hostile individual.
This is that's my point. Did you hear what you just said? We said the same thing. You would never have the opportunity to get hostile with me.
Yeah, because I control myself.
So, who would like to go first?
I do. I think that everything she said is true. And first of all, he would not have been able to do that with Mariah. She should have just threw Mariah Carey name right on out there. All them other baby mamas he got, just think of all the kids he got that's the same age, and all of them let him have sexual intercourse with them, raw and everything. He got all them babies that's the same age because he's Nick Cannon and he could do whatever he want to do. He says all the time they have an understanding. Yeah, that you're gonna still do what you want to do, but you got a baby by them. They have a baby by you, so they feel like, I don't know what they feel like, but I guess they feel like they doing something because they got a baby by Nick Cannon. But what she's saying is true. Like, you got all the women at the same time, got babies by all of them. All of them know everything she's saying is true. The only high functioning, I guess, one was Mariah Carey, because that's the only one he wouldn't have been able to do that to. And that's it. She was telling the truth. Okay. I mean, he has enough money to do that. I always say that that's a rich man's game, but that's a whole nother thing. He got enough money to do what he want to do, but like she said, you messing with low functioning women. Look at his last baby mama, the dark skinned girl. You see, she left that mess alone. I think she was done with Nick Cannon before she even had her baby, because she found out he was messing with that other girl again, the other girl. I think, and that girl was pregnant at the same time she was, and that's when she was done.
Okay, JoJo.
I don't know about I don't think I know enough about the situation to have a full opinion. If you don't mind, I would like to ask some probing questions to be able to get to the point. However, the lifestyle that he lives, where I come from the outside looking in, it's not anything surprising.
Right.
No.
Because of where I come from. Now, there is an element of modernity where children today need, because of the way the world is, children today need both kids and spouses need a level of presence that never used to be existing in the past, where even though you could have multiple kids and multiple women, wives, you can have so many that you're not present and invested in kids' lives. So I don't know how many he has now.
About 12 or something.
About 12 with how many women, how he schedules himself to be around them, to see them.
Let me see how many.
But there has to be a number where we say, okay, are you properly taking care of these families, or at this point is it just a sport, some kind of recreational thing where this man is so rich and probably has so much time on his hands that he doesn't understand or realize what he's doing. And I guess we'll
hold on,
see.
Jojo. He got 12. He has 12 kids with 6 different women. That's your answer.
10 minutes per clip, and I haven't talked.
Okay.
I would say this. I never heard the man explain what his intentions were behind doing this. Many people do different things for different reasons. And again, I haven't heard him explain why he's doing this. But if she has the point that there are people out there, I don't know if it's specific of him, but there are people out there that are troubled and in their brokenness found a way to survive. And because they're able to do it, for them it's normal. And they've normalized whatever it is, trauma response. And the world allows it in a way where, well, I guess if he can do it, there's no problem. He's not hurting anybody. The women he's with are participating in this thing willingly. Again, to me, the proof is in the pudding. When the kids are older, how much of contributing citizens would they be in society if they grew up in an environment where mom and dad were not present or this lifestyle was not done the proper way. But unfortunately, I don't know much about what she was saying to him. Is he going after young girls, specifically young girls, or I have to find more detail.
No, they're not young girls. Not all like that. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. I don't have anything else.
Okay. I completely forgot. So I will move to the next clip and I will start. Here we go. I think there was some great feedback. If I remember it, I'll come back. Here we go. Clip 2.
Hold on. Okay.
I have full control of my. But in your sense, because that's what I'm saying. Because even only reason I say what I disagree, because at some point we've all been low functioning. Yes. And we have to accept that. Yes. So to label that is like, all right, well, at some point everybody's going to be in their low state. Everybody's going to be vulnerable. Everybody's going to feel empty. But everybody's going to yearn something.
Mental health,
and when it comes to relationships, the beauty of a great relationship is where I'm weak, you are strong. So therefore, I have dealt with some people that balance me and are equally yoked. And at times, have I been manipulative and prey on certain things? Yes, because I'm a man.
Right. And but not all men do that. We don't want to blanket all men.
And I will take advantage.
Do not prey and manipulate. Not all men.
First of all humans prey and manipulate, but in a man in a relationship,
not in a praying way.
If I see that I can say, okay, I feel like I need this and this person has this, I'm going to do and say whatever I need to do to get there.
But Nick, again, law of attraction. We attract who we are despite of who we think we are. You used the word, you said women who are equally yoked to you.
Yeah.
Equally yoked comes in many different facets.
100%. Balance, if anything.
They have been equally yoked to your low functioning dysfunction that you have learned to survive in.
Because I use my tools to because first of all, you're acting as if I'm entering every scenario with the full me, and we all, every time someone meets someone, you're meeting their representative. I know how to turn on the perfect man.
Depending on the
therefore
person,
I may have manipulated a situation, and therefore, so it's to no discredit to anyone else, but I've come into every situation. I can be God-fearing, celibate, the one that you want. I can tell you everything that you want in a man and show you that. I can open the doors, lay down the cloak, send the jet, do it all to be like, oh my goodness, I've never. And then toxic Nick shows up, and you like, this motherfucker got me.
No, but you.
I think that's interesting. So I remember what I was going to say about the first one. He started with using the word abandonment and saying that he was okay with it. There's not a single person that's okay with being abandoned.
Oh, man.
And now he's created an abandoned space for his children. I don't think that I know for sure based on everything that all of these podcasts talk about, all of these TikTokers, what we see in celebrities and what we see in our homes. Nobody that had absent a father who was walking and could be available, a mother who was walking and could be available, did not want them in their home. And if they were highly functioning and appropriately had kids, according to the way that you should, we've gotten too used to just doing shit. If you did it the way that you should, you would have been prepared to have the baby that you had, not a oops, not a bad situation. If you provided your child with the proper foundation, they would be different. That's the reality. We would be different. I would be different. Reality. That's what she was saying. It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it, because you cannot be in several houses. None of those are homes, to her point. This one, he used another trigger word. But you know what I found interesting about him? In his defense mode, you can tell that he's had some therapy because he's using his right words. He's being honest. He actually is honest in his nervousness, or not nervousness, whatever the reason, he's honest. He said, I intentionally do this to women, and then boom, got him. Most women say, y'all don't show us that part. We promise this is what we see. It's no red flags. And then boom. I would just like to stick a pin right here and say he validated what a lot of us say. And he admitted it, and he thinks it's funny. This is the experience that we have. I don't show up with my representative. I don't, because when you do the work, not only are you trying to be a high value person, you want to give good value. So I don't think that you do that. But he's seemingly very comfortable. Well, not comfortable. I really want to have more grace with him than Newton, because he tried to receive it, but I could understand it. When that camera cut on, he had no idea it wasn't going to be no Ayana. He probably should have did a little more research on this lady, because she went straight for it. It doesn't even matter who you are. It doesn't even matter what your name is. This is a problem in our society, and you're one of the people that did it. Don't really care the reason, because at the end of the day, we can't keep fixing shit if we keep having a reason for it, right?
Right.
The reality. That's what I think about that one. And then whomever wants to go. Oh, let me read the comment. Sorry. Hold on. And then the next comment. So the comment was for the last one. It is, their situations are all on themselves for all of the women from Roe, talking about the 12 women. 12 kids. 8 women?
6.
6 women. 6 women. Okay. He doesn't have a lot of money because he has to work. Facts.
Wait, what?
No, he don't. Because if he valued his children, he doesn't have to work right now. In the same way that men can say, hey, don't work this amount of time and stay home and take care of the kids. Bruh, you need all your time for all them kids. You should actually have them stand on the same street, like the Sister Wives guy. Mm-hmm. That's the point. Not that he doesn't have you get what, in comparison to what you're doing, you don't have a lot of money. And that is the reality. And no amount of money will fix time. When he had his talk show, he was taking therapy because he didn't understand himself. Right. So back to your point, JoJo, when you said you really didn't know his situation. He became sick. And when he became sick, I think, based on what he said, he kind of wanted to. Well, he said it. He said he went
about to say, yeah, he wanted to leave.
Right. Okay, then I'll leave that part alone. Ro, you could start and then start with that, addressing that from Mom's comment. What he said that goes with that from the therapy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had said once he had got sick that he wanted to have kids so he could have them like leave his seeds or legacy on the earth. He wanted enough, like that he'll always be there. So that's why he said he did it. I mean, I don't think you gotta have that many to do that. But I'm trying to remember what he said in that second clip. He just kept on saying,
he talked about how he shows up as his representative, and then boom, he shows the other Knicks, so he can get the best of them, is what he was basically trying to say.
I think I understood it as he used to do that. He used to manipulate. I think that's how I understood it.
He feel like that.
Yeah, he said everybody shows up as a representative, and then
and all men do it.
He was again my interpretation of what I thought when he was being. He did sound defensive. I will agree, but
Just
I
a little
thought he
bit, though.
was
It's not
explaining.
bad.
I thought he was explaining how when some people manipulate, he was admitting that he had that phase of manipulation and described what the manipulation looked like. I don't believe that's what he's doing.
He's doing it today. I'm telling you for sure.
Oh,
It's going to be in the next clip. So give your opinion on this one. It'll be in the next clip.
Okay, so I'll ask a question now. Give an opinion. Are we saying that he cannot have this lifestyle at all, or are we saying he just can't do it this way?
What do you mean?
Yeah. People can do whatever they want to do.
Like, you mean he can't have kids everywhere?
Can he have multiple kids from multiple women, still care for them, not spread himself too thin? Are we saying he can have that and but do it well, or are we saying he can't do that at all?
Okay, so what the lady is essentially saying is kind of a recap of what I just said. Can you do it? Yes. Will there be implications? Yes. Should you do it? No. You cannot have all of those children in different places and give them your all. Because what a parent typically says is, I give my kids my everything. And I believe that you do the best you can with what you have. But the truth is, she's saying at the root of that is if we all made better decisions and better decisions were made before us, you would be there for those children. You would create a home, a wife, that type of situation, not a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then say, well, I give them, the time. Is still different than being in the home. And that's what she's saying. Not that, well, she does think it's wrong, but
I mean, that's true if we only believe or subscribe to monogamy, but I disagree that the monogamy is the only way to be in a fulfilling relationship. I disagree with that.
it's not a fulfilling relationship. It's being able to provide and care for your children all the time without breaking it up. That's what she's saying.
And all them kids living
Leave everything else off the
monogamy
table.
does that better than any other side.
Everything else off the table. That's what she's saying. And that's what she's saying we don't do. And we don't. We actually, and here's the thing, I've discussed it before. I had a whole conversation with my mom at one point, being a little upset, like, I think you made a selfish decision. Because my mother intentionally had me with the person she was with, and she wanted me. She did not want him. But as I got older and you understand, of course you give somebody grace and you understand and it makes sense, and that's already here. What she's saying is, if at the foundation more of these decisions could be made, then we wouldn't have some of these other things like low functioning people, is what she's saying. Not that you do whatever you want to, but this is still going to keep happening.
I agree. I agree that we have to be intentional in the relationships we want to be in. I agree with that.
Yes, that's what she's saying. Okay, so next, oh wait, hold on. Yes, he said he was raised by his grandmother because his mother and father were not in his life. Well, let's question right there, and we'll come back to it, but a question for the people in the comments. How many people can we go to? How many men can you go to and they haven't said, well, I don't know how to do this. My father wasn't there. So on one hand, you can rely on the reason. I don't call it an excuse. It might be a reason, it might be an excuse, but either way, most men have said, my father wasn't present. He didn't teach me that. He didn't do this, but we're saying it's okay to be spread out like that. I'm just saying, we all use excuses, reasons, whatever we want to. Very little bit of love for me, Mom. I love you too. Okay. Next one. Hold on. I actually have them in order. Y'all be proud of me. Okay. Next clip. And this is the last one from him. And the next clip is going to be on Newton. I actually liked Nick's better. Maybe because I know a little bit of his backstory. And I don't think he's a bad person. I don't.
They gave me the draws and I ain't heard from him in 3 weeks.
What you said is perfect. No, what you said is perfect because you named all of the low functioning, superficial things that a low functioning woman would fall into.
Church.
Women,
that
baby,
ain't low functioning.
baby, any woman,
we going
any
to see the
woman,
Lord together.
any woman or man,
or the mosque, wherever you want to go. I know them both.
Any person who's done the work, who gained a sense of self, who's worked on their pain pockets, who's worked on their trauma,
are still going to be vulnerable.
They're going to be vulnerable.
They're still going to yearn. And late at night when you're sleeping alone, you're going to go, I wish I had a strong man to rub my back.
They're going to be imperfect, but that person would want a strong, healthy, functioning man, not a low functioning man.
Sometimes a nigga with some good hands.
Not a low functioning man. No. That's what I'm saying is the difference. But
every woman, you can't, Doc, you can't sit here and say that.
But you're speaking from your experience, which makes it better.
I'm saying.
Because your experience of these women is that they fall short for a jet and a good meal and a good man who says he goes to church.
And some strong hands.
And let me go further, and probably a big penis. But so, okay,
you said it, not
so
me.
let me go. But again, a high functioning, I'm not even talking about value, a high functioning woman who's done the work.
I'm trying to hear what this high functioning woman is.
But a high functioning woman, you cannot send a jet and be toxic, and she will go on the
She don't know I'm toxic yet.
A high-functioning woman wouldn't even attract you, baby. Because it's law of attraction. Stick with me. Just stick with me.
Please explain this high-functioning
regulate your
woman.
emotions and stick with me. Regulate your emotions and stick with me.
I'm trying to hear you.
Listen, what is law of attraction? We attract who we are despite who we think we are.
Absolutely.
Think we are.
Absolutely.
Okay. So a high-functioning woman is not going to attract by default. By her calibration, she's not attracting a man who is not perfect. The man has got all kinds of mess. So does she. But when it comes to the level of her calibration and functioning and mental health and doing the work, she's going to attract that at which she is, that at what she leads with. So let me say this. Do I get on private jets that I pay for myself? Absolutely. Have I had a man do a wonderful, beautiful things for me? Absolutely. Have I had rocks and this and caught off weddings? Of course. But let me say this. Prior to me doing the work and being a high-functioning woman, I attracted low-functioning men. Hold on.
You're saying you're a high-functioning woman who attracted low-functioning men?
No, it's not what I said. I said prior to me doing the work and becoming a high-functioning woman, my low-functioning self attracted low-functioning men. Hold on. You know why I attracted them? Because I needed low-functioning to feed low-functioning. Okay, hold on. A low-functioning man cannot feed a high-functioning woman, and a low-functioning woman can't feed a high-functioning man. And so what I'm telling you is there is no equally yoked there.
So, as I stated, he says he still does it today. But he does because that's who he is. A lot of things we do them because it's who we are. We do them because they're filters, they're masks, their survival. You don't want to be hurt anymore. You do them I don't think anybody wakes up and says, let me go do these things. I think that you inherit some behaviors. And to her point, she wasn't a high functioning person before. She went to therapy and did the work. Don't just go to therapy, do the work. For me, I'm a little bit confused. I'll let you guys comment on that. I'm cool. Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I really wonder, with all the therapy that he's been in, are they not able to break those barriers, or is representation important? I wonder what his therapist is like, because it does, like, the main thing that needed to be uncovered, she clocked it right away. Why? And kind of talked to it with softness. And his behavior is still, he reverted back to his child behavior, his posture, his ad-libbing and not listening.
Yeah, I would say because he wasn't listening at all. He just kept on talking and saying
he wasn't.
He's not low functional and all that. The girls
even tried to catch her up, but that's not what she said.
Yeah, so you saying you're low functional.
Right.
He felt accused of something that he did not recognize himself to be doing. And now he's defending himself. That's what that looked like to me.
Even though he said, I know I'm doing that?
Well, the exchange was going back and forth. I was trying to listen to as much of it as I can.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, that's what it started. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. On the high functioning, I think I have an idea of the type of woman he's describing.
He's describing?
Yes. I think I have an idea of the type of woman she's describing.
Okay.
And he's saying, and she's saying that the type of woman she's describing would not have fallen for his program. I think that's what she's describing.
Yes,
I have met women like this in my family. In my entourage, I have as well. I was fortunate to date one. I was not
high functioning woman.
High functioning, yes. I was fortunate to date one. I was not ready for her, and so I know what that looks like. I think I have an idea of what that looks like. Dating one, being around one, I see what it looks like. My mom, my sisters, some of my aunties, some of my friends, both of you. And I said I've dated one, and it's true that they would not be impressed or would not fall for that. What I just saw, that would not be something that way they would be impressed by, especially if he starts off with all the flashy stuff, and then who he is right now as she's speaking to him. What I just saw is something that happens in a lot of marriages when wives try to talk to their husbands and try to talk sense to their husbands, and the husbands don't listen. That's what that looks like. And perhaps he has to be honest with himself. The women he's with, that he's procreating with, perhaps his intention is just the children, not the relationships with the mothers, and to be impactful in the kids' life, the children's life, to show what a two-parent home looks like.
Because he started with a two-parent home. He started with Mariah. My vision of it all is that she left that relationship with that guy who did her really, really bad. It looks like she did the work, and then it looks like they got together and he hit a place where this came out. And then when this came out, because their age difference, right? You got to think too, some things come out later in life. That's why it's good to have grace with yourself and have a partner that you can trust, because tomorrow something else could be revealed to me that I went through that I never remembered that I went through, and it could put me in a place. And my partner has to be able to work with me through that. I believe the reason why I say that is because people can change, right? So they were together just fine. Then all of a sudden they weren't. And you saw him start to change as well. If you were truly that good at manipulating and doing what you're doing, why didn't you keep your marriage?
But he'd say all the time now, when they ask him,
what does he say?
He'll go back.
Exactly.
He always say that he'll go back to Mariah. He always say that.
Exactly. That's what he really wants. And I believe that's a part of his hurt as well. But he just maybe doesn't know how to fix it, or
I can admit to something that men do that perhaps is never discussed. A lot of men don't know how to verbalize it. We find ourselves in relationships where we realize we had a good thing, and the good thing goes away. When we realize that it was a good thing and it's no longer there, we try and fill up that space with everything that we can. As many women as we can, as many children as we can, as much money as we can, as many adventures as we can. And a lot of men don't know how to deal with that.
To be fair, I think when women lose a good man too, that they maybe were not ready for. There was a period where I wasn't ready to date. I think in this space, women handle it a little bit different. And maybe it's because we can express our emotions in a certain way, right? We have the friend group we can go to. We have family we can go to, a therapist, our mother, our father. So in that space, men don't feel like they can really reach out the way they need to. And sometimes you get in a space where you need it everywhere you are. You need to be able to tell somebody, if we go into this restaurant and I look bad, get me the hell out of there. Like, you sometimes get that bad. During those times, I didn't date. I didn't, because I knew that I'm not going to probably hear nothing you saying. I'm going to keep doing whatever I want to do. I'm not going to make time for you. I'm on some fuck nigga shit. I shouldn't do it. It's not even nice. And when I come out on the other side, because see, I knew I was coming out, and I think some people lose hope. I don't want that to be who I am. I don't want to have to go back and clean up a bigger mess. I actually thought about all of those things, which was a part of my problem, by the way, overthinking. But I did think about those things. And to your point, men go out and try to fill it. Now, what I will say is women fill it with different things. We fill it with shopping. We fill it with food. We fill it with being out all night, even if we don't do nothing. It's still all of those same other things is there. But I think that we fill it with other things. He has too many kids now. She's not. Absolutely not. It's too late now. A high functioning woman has her things, right? I don't see myself being a wife, bearing his first children, and it's both of our first children. I was who I was, and you did this. I tried. It wasn't a lot of slander about them in the tabloids. And then you think, after you just went on this spree and did all of this shit, and you still on the couch like that, that's probably not a good idea. Not a high value woman. She's a high functioning woman. Because it's not healthy. You already know what it's like when you're engaged in it. And then to see it sometimes progress while you're not in it, you like, so it's not getting better? It's getting worse.
Maybe if the kids were older. If the kids were older and the ladies have moved on, because he has to be involved for these kids. I don't see how, because I can see myself dating a woman who, even with all that baggage, if she, like her, has done the work and became this new person, I can see how I can date somebody, but the kids would have to be older. I wouldn't want to deal with that when the kids are young. So maybe there's I don't, like you, I don't think there's a chance they come back together. Maybe there would have been a chance if the children were older. I don't know. That many though?
I don't think, as a wife returning, like me, I don't have children. So could I date somebody with children? I would absolutely date somebody with children. Why? Because I wanted a lot of kids. So I would be fine with that, depending on how the baby mamas act. But or ex-wife or whomever it is, I would be fine with that because I wanted a big family. I just didn't want to have them. So again, highly functioning does not mean that you go by the Bible, you so perfect. Everybody's still gonna have their thing that's, you know what I'm saying, a focus. That's why she's not focused on that part. At the end of the day, she's focused on the decisions that we make when we're in that place. And to your point, not choosing to build a home. Even where you come from, if the man has more than one wife, he at least stays on the same compound. You know what I'm saying? They're a family. That wife and that wife deal. Those kids, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't get to have that part of him, but the children see him every day.
They see each other every day.
That's still different. Yes, that's why I said, well, it doesn't matter.
And that's impactful. That's impactful.
It is a lot of personalities to deal with, and I believe as if you are a wife first, that's never going to leave your brain. So even when you deal with them, you're going to be back on some, fuck you, that's my husband, or I'm the wife, or you still wasn't even a wife, so you should have expected this. My attitude gets crazy when you get crazy with me. So you're right. That's a lot of different personalities, needs, same ages. What you gonna do if one graduate over here and one over here and one go to school and they leave on the same day in the prom? Listen, we didn't have to split a lot of my family couldn't come to my wedding because they had to go to my cousin's funeral. Or sorry, my cousin's no, that was a week before. My cousin's graduation was the same day as my wedding. She was getting her master's, not a bachelor's. A bachelor's, and I'd have been like, y'all tripping. A master's, I was okay with that. When you have multiple things, you can't keep up all those obligations. Stuff be landed on same days. Now let's look at Cam. I'm telling y'all now, I didn't like his behavior. Didn't like his attitude, and he was a
I
little.
feel like my
What's
thing
that word? What's that word that they say for men? What have they been saying? Sassy. Yeah, little sassy. That's my opinion. What were you about to say, Ro, before I play it?
No, my internet. I think something is wrong with my internet because y'all keep on going in and out, like going off. So I don't know if it's my internet or what.
Cut off the
It
Wi-Fi.
keeps freezing up.
Cut off your Wi-Fi. Cut off your Wi-Fi. Maybe that might work.
It's not gonna work.
Or your thing at all?
Only if I went through my phone.
Okay. Well, I hope it keeps working.
But
Let me
I'm
know
just
if you need
telling
me to
y'all,
keep coming.
if you see me, yeah.
Only once we saw you disappear. Other than that, no. We didn't see you disappear. Welcome to our home, folks. Here we go. We don't have no IT. But if you want to grant me $20,000 grant, I'm not paying it back. I'm not doing promo. I'm not doing nothing you asked me to do. I will gladly get a team to come in and do this.
I'll do promo.
I will. She'll do the promo for us. We're twins. Here we go.
I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
By how many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God to bring them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. You said it. I didn't say it. I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Oh, let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved.
What is your opinion? First of all,
I agree with her on that, and I never thought about how she's saying that he's creating broken homes just off of saying you just want to have babies by not a wife, but you just want them to come from the sky. So that means you with somebody right now, you ain't even saying you want to have more children by her. You just saying you want to have more children. So go adopt some kids where all they can live in the house with you. You saying that you want to have.
He's with somebody right now?
That's just.
I thought he was.
Yeah, that comedian lady. That's why they be dragging her, because she was saying that she ain't don't want to be no baby mama, and now they was like,
that
and now
Toya turn up. Yeah, bless her heart.
Yeah, that's his girlfriend. So it's like, you saying that you want to have more kids, and what she said, I swear I never thought about that. I was like, dang, he is creating broken homes, because you ain't gonna be with all those kids unless they live with you, and then that woman got to take that on, and you don't want to do that. You just saying you want to have more children, and that's not fair. So everything
And
she
did you
said is
put
true,
God
but
in that?
it don't seem like
Did you put? How do you put God in that without saying you want to get married? That's my only problem that I be having with
that
some
be they
things.
main thing to say.
Yeah,
And
how do you
That be
put
they
God,
main
but
maybe
then
his God
say
is
they
you
not a
don't follow the
Christian
Bible?
God.
I don't.
Maybe his God is not a Christian God. Maybe he's appealing to something else. God can be Muslim. I don't know. I don't know if he's Muslim.
But
Maybe
still,
he's
the thing is, he's saying that he want to have all them kids, and he making broken homes, like she said. Like, it ain't nowhere around that. What she said was absolutely true,
look.
and he being selfish.
If we can have the conversation honestly, please. And I'm saying all of this to still agree with you, but please, I just have to say this. There is a real fear of marriage for
Okay.
men.
Okay.
That is a real fear. Now, I hope in everyone's opinion of what he's supposed to do isn't by all means marginalizing a fear. There is a real fear of marriage, men thinking about what marriage does to them if it does not work. Men today, it is a real, real fear in this society of what marriage does to men. Because if it doesn't work out, which I believe is still at a 50% rate, so one out of two, that means from the moment you get married, your marriage is 50-50 chance.
We get it. 50%, sir.
Okay. So that's high.
It is. You want to know what a solution is? I'll play it right now. Hold on.
And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife, and then you have all these other houses that are homeless. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done, you can go for it.
Okay, say less. All right, so what identifies as a broken home?
And I had to
The
stop right
hell?
there because there ain't no way that brilliant ass man don't know what a broken home is. He's being, what is,
I was just about to say, how you don't know what a broken home is, sir?
he's being condescending as hell. That's what he's doing. He's being funny. It's no additional explanation. And that is everything she is saying is the foundation is the same. You can put whatever you want to it on it after they get here, after we get here. You can do whatever you want to do to adjust. But at the bottom and the foundation is it's not the good, it's not a good decision. It's not right. Not only are you only thinking about yourself, what the fuck about the kid? The kid that becomes an adult that has to walk down the aisle without their father, that has to not have a mother, that has to not have a whole family because the family is tired of taking y'all in. The family don't like your mama. The family, what about the kid that becomes an adult one day? It is selfish and it is wrong. And the people that say that it's not, I mean, that's cool. You still do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, if you're going to do what you want to do, I don't want to hear you complaining about what your parents did wrong or what your mama did wrong or what you're not doing right because your daddy ain't there. That's all I'm saying. Because we all lean on that because it's a part of us. But now that she's literally saying it because we don't like the way that it feels, we're doing all these other things over it, but not paying attention to her foundation. A lot of people doing that in the comments too. It's still not addressing what she's saying, but I get it. So her answer is probably similar to the answer I gave for myself on the other one. When I realized I didn't want to be in a relationship and I wasn't going to be a good person in a relationship, I didn't date. If you don't want to build a home, don't create a family. That's simple. That's what she's saying. What's the likelihood of it happening? We can see it in the comments. It's very unlikely that will happen. It is. But again, it's not, she's not just talking to them. She's talking to everybody else that it applies to. And most of us, it applies to us and the children that we've had and the ones we love and the people we love. So who wants to hear about themselves? But we all say we've been to therapy, but we having a problem with this topic. That's interesting to me. But we might have another topic and it might hurt me. That might be my trigger. Highly functioning don't mean all the way healed. Just saying. That don't mean all the way healed either. Told you that earlier. So, bro, do you have, or what do you have to say? Mm-hmm.
I feel like this lady should have came out a long time ago. I never heard of her before.
Right. Me neither.
Because like, everything that she said, I agree. Yeah, I really agree with everything that she said, but I don't think that they are taking it. I don't know why they having so much pushback, him and Nick, but I think, like you said, him more. But that's why I was so mad once I see we was going to talk about this. I tried to watch the whole interview. You know me, I be wanting to watch the whole thing to see if it was something that I missed or something.
That's 4 hours.
Because I don't know. Yeah, it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I don't know his background. Huh?
Oh, Cam?
Yeah, I don't know his. I don't know his background, so I don't know if he grew up. Well, I did watch some of his stuff, but I don't know if he grew up with both of his parents. But I know he did say he grew up in church, like whoever he was with, maybe his mom. He went to church all the time, so he can't say that he didn't grow up around what's right to us. That's Christian.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like you knew better, but you said that you more scared of getting a divorce than having broken households, as she said. I want to do a men think about that. Like you having all these kids and they're in different homes. You could be an active dad and be everywhere, but like they said, your kids, most of the time it is better for you to be in a 2-home household.
I have a question.
Only if it is
if he have all these kids, what is he talking about marriage? You still could have created a family with these women. One of them, the one, had a family with her. You still not creating families. It's still the same. You're blaming it on marriage. Marriage is not the blame. Then be with the person and don't get married, but still be together because you wanted a family unit with this person to raise a child. That don't make sense. At first I was like, well, okay, I get it. People are scared of marriage. But the point is still, you could have still stayed with the one and built a family.
Yeah, but you going multiple and then saying you still want more. And not with your girlfriend. I'm going to keep saying that. Because you ain't saying that you want more with your girlfriend. You just saying you want more.
With however they drop out the sky, which means he's cheating on her. I hope she knows that. Because he's saying if you find out I got 3 tomorrow,
books,
God gave them to
me. What is the thing that in the books, that little bird dropped the babies off?
Oh, the stork.
Yeah, the stork. That's not going to happen.
He's not cheating. Maybe he's not cheating. Maybe he's being upfront and letting them know she won't be the only woman he's dealing with. And because of his access or whatever, she could really like him. I don't know if it's based on the kind of love
really like him.
that I would want my woman to love me for. Well, for whatever the reason is, she's staying. So he might not be.
And that's what Rose said.
I have to admit one thing. I just have to say, up until today, the statement he made that he would rather.
He was raised in a 2-parent home. Go ahead.
Yeah. the statement he made that he would rather what he's doing than marriage and a family. Up until today, I have only heard women say that. I have never heard that from a man.
Really?
I've only heard women say that. I'm not saying all the women that I've spoken to ever have said that, but I'm saying of the women, of the people
that you have heard it
I've
from.
heard that coming from, every single time, 10 times out of 10, it has always been women who say, I would rather be a mother with children than someone's wife or someone's lifetime partner having to deal with kids in a relationship or in a marriage.
Can I believe it?
Yeah,
I can.
I'm sure they have reasons to believe so. Whatever
Right.
those reasons are, some good, some bad. I've never heard. I've never heard.
Well, men don't have those kind of conversations, so that's probably why. Or they probably said it in a different way. But have of the people that I've heard say it too, I said it at one point. So yeah.
You know, if I can be transparent here,
Yeah.
um, the dating environment in the United States, I haven't lived anywhere else. I only lived in Africa, and then I live here. I visited other places, and in the US, I've never been anywhere else. I've only stayed in LA. I have not been anywhere else. Dating here is very different from where I come from. The dynamics, the system, how heavy people rely on, or how deeply folks want uh, emotion, how much emotions is part of that thing.
Wait, how much emotions is
What
part of what? You cut out just a
of
little bit.
okay, how much emotions is required to be involved in a relationship? How much of it is I mean, I get it. Folks want to be happy, but the system here is very different. The things that men want, the things that women want. Um, I just want. I'm not able to have these conversations the way I want to because I'm not as informed. But I live in the system and I try to date within it. I want to understand, and I mean, I guess I'm not saying that my system is better. We definitely have our issues as well. Uh, but there is a lot of dysfunction. That is very true. Observable, a lot of dysfunction.
What type
I
of
would agree.
dysfunction?
Look, I'm like,
In the
I would
dating pool, you
agree.
said?
Okay, so I'll
No,
start with the
just you
men.
said in the dating pool. I'm making
I
sure because some of it cut in and out.
okay, I will. I will start with the men.
No, I want to give a comment. I only want to know for what you
Oh,
just said, so I don't say it wrong. You were
uh-huh.
saying for the dating pool, it's a lot of dysfunction. That's what
Yes.
you were saying for being here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's a lot of things that's going on for the reasons that I named at the beginning. Masking, survival, all of those things make you create, different people, and then you don't function and develop the way that you would
Mhm.
have going through something. And the longer you don't touch something, it becomes your reality. So if you thought at 5, because that's something that was a big deal, you heard men ain't shit. You might grow up thinking that the rest of your life, if you never have anybody else around you that shows you it other than TV. Let's take TV out because it wasn't reality TV back then. That was what you wanted. But now you're making me see that this is what I have. You might continue that, right? Because you got to protect yourself. You don't want to be hurt. That's why we get where we are. That's why we should try to make our children be born in better situations for the things we can do. Not everything gonna be bulletproof. But I agree with you. And it's for the reason that we've let go of a lot of the values, morals, functionalities that we should have developed and cared more about than being fast in other
Was it
places.
was it ever better at any point of time in history, and it got worse?
Dating?
Families, relationships,
Yes,
marriages. Was it ever a place that was good and
of
then it
course.
became bad? Okay. Was there,
I
Absolutely.
think it
Yeah.
was better
But you
before
got to
social
think we
media.
came from, you mean here, you got to
yeah,
remember we
yes.
came from slavery to only the last 30, 40 years being more out of that. So you did date better because, again, you stayed in your town. The temptation was less. I'll go back to what I said last week. Ron Ron thinks differently. I do not. You are in your small town. You're dating the people there, right? You're probably not going to cheat because y'all going to the same church. Or if you're doing it, you're going to do a little bit different. Now it's just out there in your face. Everybody's so close. Everything is so accessible. This is just within the last, well, hell, since social media, our
I would
generation,
say like
your
that last
The
it
last
actually
20
cut
10
years.
over.
years.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
last
like the
15,
last
20
20
years.
years.
yeah. Because
The
even
last
like
20
when we
years.
tell you that, when I tell you, oh yeah, I dated a thug before, like that's one of the best people from the era where I grew up. That was a really good person. Like it's not the way it's seen now. So even those type of relationships, they were what they were in the street, the same way a man go to work, I go to work. But when you come home, they're some of the most family oriented, take care of home, take care of the full woman, protector, provider, and soft as shit. Like you'll catch them playing tea party with their kids. So yes, that's why I think it's a little harder for my age group because we saw it, not just people staying together because they was broke. We saw the generation that was together from college and grew like that by choice. And now we've moved straight into this space. It's a lot for our group. It's a lot. So when you say those things, it's not offensive. We kind of learning it with you and seeing it with you. We didn't see this bad before. It's disheartening, but it's because people don't want to talk. And they're, look at those men. They're, Kevin Samuels had put in their head it's more important to be high value than and not be able to understand it. Yes, you can do all of these things, as Rose say, it's a rich man's sport, but that still shows your characters. You got to pay the consequences for YOLO later. Those things show up, especially it's nothing you could do from stopping a kid. You can actually do the best ever two-parent household and something still could go wrong. So imagine how much worse it is to try to handle that by yourself, do all of these things. It's just create more problems. And now that's passed on to your child because they missed something. One person can't do everything. It's just when that person is walking. Now, if you lose a parent, that's a different thing. But to start out that way, is what you're receiving now because that was the YOLO group, the ones
If,
that we
if,
dealing with.
if there was a time where things were better, and I
Mm-hmm.
presume, based on what you're explaining, I'm understanding that both the men and the women over time have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Who changed more, or does it even matter who did?
I think the reason for change is more important than who changed more because it's that error that we talked about when they started shipping jobs off and introduced welfare and the man had to be out of the home. That particular error was like another revisit of slavery and ripping a family apart. It was the same thing. So I believe a woman became strong because that was also leading into
What was
drug use.
necessary?
Yeah, now you have to protect. You have to do all these things because these kids you already have. You was with your man. Y'all have these kids. Now the system telling you can't be together. You've totally disrupted this home. And I still got this 17-year-old son who upset he can't see his daddy. I got other kids. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. We keep carrying this load. So when we have compassion for people, that's why. That's why I try not to be so tough. Unless you hurt a kid, I can't get over that. But other stuff, that's why we teeter the fence like that's really fucked up. But I understand why you did it. But you're still responsible to fix yourself, get it together. That's why it's so much of both. But it wasn't men or women more. It was men and women because the home was attacked. Plus now however many kids is in there. So
If it was the system outside of both of them, why don't both come together and attack the system?
the jobs are gone. If you just like, what can I give you? Okay, you've been to Ontario Airport, right? Okay, imagine in Ontario, that place being filled up with, well, hell, imagine if they take that away, but that's the one place Black men can work and provide a home, like buy a house, do all of these things and take care of your family. And then they just took it and moved it out. Let's imagine they took LAX and took it away and sent it overseas. They took it was like was it GM? Ford? One of the, I can't think of which, American made cars. None of them are American made anymore. So they took the big, like in Detroit, auto, they took everything away. Yeah. So I didn't go get a college education. I'm working my way up, steel, well, stuff like that. You wanted to destroy me, you took it away. Detroit has never recovered. That area has never recovered. So it's very sad. So when I see people that need help, the key is that we have to love on each other better, have compassion. Huh?
Why not come back to Africa?
Because I don't think it's better. To your point, different set of problems. I think we're in an abusive relationship. At least I know how this one is gonna hit me. But my dream is to own in both and be able to move. I believe that's the real key. Not having to be in one place and just feeling so stuck. It could just close in on you. But I hope they get help. I hope they revisit and listen to it in a quiet, safe space, and then do the work behind the scenes from there and maybe come back and give an update. But they knew based on her title when that woman came on there what she was going to talk about. But both of them are so used to speaking freely. One is used to being the favorite, doing well, being able to offset it with jokes, but as a high value and educated woman who also said, not just that she's educated, I've applied it. She didn't break through none of it. And continued to offer compliments and never got upset about what was said. So I want that to be another example too, that there are women out there that talk to their men like that. They don't talk the way, but you see how they heard it. But everybody agrees she didn't talk bad. When you're in a defensive position, here's the best thing for me. I won't even get mad if you're defensive at first, but you got to come back, and then less and less should we have to have you come back. We should be able to sit down and have a conversation. But if you work on it, it will get easier because you should trust me, and vice versa. That's for everybody. That lesson was for everybody. So the people that was just talking about them, I'm like, that applies to you too. And your mama and your daddy. So gotta be kinder to people. Let's see. I hope this isn't too late. Why did you come to why did you come to America? So but you didn't know
my
right?
my father worked for the American Embassy for 30 years as a translator. When he got the green card, I was underage. My sister, well, I was 18, but I was the oldest of a family of 4 with 3 children that were underage. So him being granted the green card as a result of his service for the American government, he brought his children with him. So I'm just here because of that. Also, we did leave war back home. So we had war going on at that time. So it was just perfect timing to escape and come.
Did you see the war?
Yeah. Heads chopped off, explosions, all that. Rapes. Some people lost their homes.
You
The
saw it with
military
your own
lost.
eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Stick a pin right there. Don't say nothing else. That's our topic for Thursday. We're going to ask you more questions.
Okay.
Because that may be okay. That was a damn good question. I thought he told me he came here and went to school. I wasn't under the impression. See, and how you ask a question will change the way somebody answers it sometimes. I thought you came here to go to school. That's a lot. Have you been to Never mind. We'll talk about it on Thursday. We'll talk. That is traumatic. Jesus.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you see the things I've seen, and then I come here and people get flustered for the stuff that they say they get flustered about, and I'm holding back. Maybe I have to go within myself to give some people grace for what they go through. Mental health, something it is mental health for me is something that here, if we're not careful about how trivial we're making it, the people who really need the help and the service and the awareness will be overlooked. We're not gonna take that seriously. But I may be I may be saying this from a place of
So you are where our grandmothers were before us. So stick a pin
yeah,
right there.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to revisit it because yeah, you're exact, because they saw all of that, right? So I want you to know that we heard you, and I want to give it full time. And I know we're ending the show, so I don't want to do that. Especially not with you sharing at all. Um, yeah, you know me, I
Thursday,
don't do that with people.
Thursday,
Okay,
Thursday.
okay. Any closing remarks from anybody? See, these things make you look in yourself and maybe tie some things together, or think of something you could share for somebody to handle it a different way. That's what's supposed to happen. That's my final say. Rose?
No, I would say I'm trying to think because I'm like be able to take constructive criticism because they wasn't able to take it, and she was coming from it seemed like she was coming from a place of love and really trying to explain to them. So be able to take that, I would say, in closing remarks.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Jojo,
was gonna
close
say.
us
Yeah, I
out.
was gonna say. I would like him to invite men to have a lot of introspection. And it's funny as I heard the lady speaking, a lot of the conversations she was had. Well, not the topic per se, but the way the conversation was being had reminds me of a lot of conversations that, or at least the way I imagine a lot of wives have with their husbands in the privacy of their bedroom. And when a woman has insight that a man doesn't have, that is not the attitude to have when she's trying to help you, whether that perspective is right or wrong. That is not the attitude or the behavior to have to be able to receive it fully. And if this is how men behave in relationships, I would want them to reevaluate themselves. That wouldn't be the attitude that I would want a responsible uh, man to be having when communicating with a woman who's simply highlighting what she's observing. And I would like to invite men to do better. That'll be my final word.
Okay. Thank you all for joining. Make sure that you drop comments in below if you play this back. If you missed something, play it back. If you're going to sleep, play it back. Just run my channel all night. Subscribe, share, like on the way out. We will see you on Thursday at 9. Thank you for joining. Good night.